This is Tuesday morning, the 4th of February, 2020. I'm out here with my cup of coffee and my pajamas. I'm making this video for my friends and family. Just a quick 2-minute video walking around the property to let you know it got cold here last night, down in the high 30s. That's pretty cold for Buckeye. This is where I live. I'll get away from the camera. I look pretty ugly now because it's probably about 7 in the morning. These are short days. In July it'll be a lot lighter, a lot sooner. By now in July we'll have golfers going by. Right now it's quiet, no golfers. But I'll get off the camera. I'm going to go behind the camera. I'll start talking about what I did. I'll start at one end of the property and just give you an idea of what I've been doing for the last 2 or 3 weeks on my property. Anyway, to everybody, I hope you enjoy this. Okay, we'll start the video here. My Italian cypress that I planted before the summer, I think I planted 15 of them. I lost 2. And I lost them because of the drip irrigation malfunction. And those 2 weren't getting water for about a week or longer. I didn't realize. But I replaced them. That's what it looks like. These are, well, they'll be a year old probably in May, June or May. But let's walk down the line. I'll get you caught up. These sand piles you see in the distance, well, there's 4 of them. There's one on the last patio over there if you can see it. But those are 4 different grades of soil that I've extracted out of the load of rock that I got from the local rock supplier last year. Last year in the spring I ordered 3 tons of rock, and when it was delivered it was filled with sand. That first pile in the front, that's sand and fine rock. The next one is just large rock. That's what I was hoping to get, 3 tons of that kind of rock. That rock in the second pile has no sand, no small pebbles. It's coarse rock, what I thought was buying. The next pile over is the same kind of rock that's in the first pile. It's sand and coarse pebbles, or sand and pebbles. And the last one over there behind the swings and that rebound net, that little pile, that's all pure sand. That's fine sand that's been through a 1/4-inch sifter. But as we move on, walking down to the property line, these were 2 plants that I lost over the summer. I've since found out you don't plant anything going into the summer. Okay, because it's such a high stress for them. But this cactus represents my property line. And I've been trying to sell a house, but I'm having a little trouble. I put that up about a month ago, and I'm going to put some decals on that white post. I have decals from my service, the squadrons I was in, my emblem patch, Marine Corps emblem patch, a chevron patch for being a sergeant. I hope to make that my totem pole of my experience in the service. But I've got about 6 or 7 patches that I'm going to put on to the front of that. I'm going to give it another coat of paint though. They're like decals for the car. I got them off eBay. It's amazing what you can find on eBay. But anyway, what you're looking at here is what I've been working on. right here where you see those pipes, and that land, all the land from here down to the end of the plants is covered with landscape fabric. That was done 3 or 4 years ago when I had to do a grading project here. So everything underneath here has got grading. But when I ordered that, oh, and here's some more rock. I didn't show you that pile. That's another pile of rock, and that rock is fine sand and fine pebbles in it. So I have to go through that. I'm going to go through that. I can reclassify that twice. I can go through it twice. But as we walk down through here, all that rock when it was delivered to the street last year was quite a huge pile of rock. I only had a couple days to get it off the street, so I brought it out here as far away from the house as I could, and I piled it along this hedge line. So it got real deep. It got real deep with rock that was filled with sand. The sand in that rock isn't good. I put down landscape fabric. I don't have problems with weeds because of the landscape fabric. You can come out here where my neighbors on both sides have got weeds everywhere. I've got a few. But the sand that's in the rock, like that rock right there, it needs to be sifted some more. The sand that's in the rock, when it sits on top of this fabric, gives a place for plants to grow. And it also impedes drainage. It soaks up water, becomes clay-like, and stops drainage. So this year, my big quest was to get it all cleaned up. You can see how high the rock there was. It's like a bank carved out right here. And I've done some work on the lighthouse. Okay, that lighthouse has been here for, it's going on 16 years it's been here, and it's still here. And I did some work with that, and I've got more. I've got a solar panel and some real high intensity lights for it at night, and a day-night switch and a battery. I hope to get to that. But here's the apparatus. Jean has seen it, she knows, but maybe the others haven't. I'm removing the gloves so you can get a good look at it, but I'll tip it up like that so you can see how coarse. This little frame with the wheels on it I built about 3 weeks ago. Now I'll get the other one. I'll find it here. Before the video ends, I'll find the other one. But the other one is 1/4 inch. If you can see the spacing, that's 1/2 inch spacing. So that one pile, that last pile I showed you over there, went through the other one. I went through 1/4 inch spacing. This is what I have in the thing. Now, this apparatus right here, you're looking at this wooden box frame, and I'll show you how this works. It rolls back and forth like that. I put 3 shovels of gravel in there, and I shake it, and it classifies. What do we call classifying the rock? This right here is desirable end result. This is where when it's all shook out, no sand, now it goes into here, and then I drag it over to there and dump it. And when the wheelbarrow gets full, I take it there and dump it. But I've got about a 10 to 15 foot swath, and you can see where the landscape fabric, the wind blew hard last night. I'm going to take and pull all this up and go online, and before I want to get all the sand out of the rock. I want to get that rock, and it's beautiful work out here. I don't mind being out here all day. I'm busy, I'm getting exercise, I'm watching the land, and if somebody should happen to hit a golf ball onto my property, I'm here to make sure that they stay on the golf course. But I don't want to digress and ruin this film with getting into something. But here we are. This is what I've done so far. I got to pull back all this landscape. I'll try to reclaim and salvage as much, clean it, maybe hose it off, clean it. It's been underground, away from the sun, all these for 2 or 3 years now. It's perfectly reusable. But I'll end it here. Hope you've enjoyed the video. We'll stop. Well, I want to tell you too, if anybody doesn't know, this is my easy goal. I can play catch against that. I can come out here with a glove and ball and make believe I'm Johnny Podgers in the World Series. And it's also a lacrosse throwback net. Another thing that's kind of out of service this summer, the reason everything is tipped over on the patio is because we have microbursts out here. And I just haven't gotten to tip them over yet. If I put those upright, everything upright, and we get a microburst, these are projectiles. And until I'm going to use them for a party or something or have guests. And that green mat is my hitting mat. And I haven't spent too much time on the view, but let me give you one quick. Gene knows, but the rest of you, a lot of you don't. That building off in the distance is Goodwill. It's a big box store. It's about 6 years old. Now here's where I live. This is the signature hole for Sundance Golf Course. This is Sundance Lake. It's the only lake on the golf course. You probably got to get in a car and drive 10 or 15 miles to get a lake as big or comes close to the size of this lake. Over there is the tee box for shooting into the sun. But this is where I live. This is what I wake up to every morning. Those houses across the way were the original models. They were the original models. Those were the first structures ever built out here. And I love it here. I really do. I plan to stay here for a long, long time. And this is the last shot I want to show you. You zoom in, that's quarter inch fine. Now, the rock that came out of that, I worked for about a week with this. The first pile. This pile right here went through that sifter. These piles went through the bigger grade, the coarser sifter. What I have to do is take this pile and that little pile there, the third one, and put it through that sifter to get all the sand out of it. And what I have to do is take this pile and put it through the coarse one to get all the pebbles out of it, to classify it as there's a more mix of pebbles in this pile of rock than there is in that pile of rock. That pile of rock, no sand. When you put it down, there over landscape fabric, there's no sand for the plants to take root in. It's dry. And the drainage, since we have monsoon storms here, we have to have proper drainage. That rock drains much better than it was originally. And to tell you why I had to do this project or job, it's because the local supplier, that when I ordered 3 ton of rock, brought in about 2 tons of rock and a ton of sand. Period. And I didn't like the mix. I put it out here last year just to get it off the street. Now that I have time to work on it, I have from now to the end of the summer to get this cleaned up, get this rock, get new landscape fabric down, and hopefully once I do it, for the next 3 or 4 months, I'll never have to touch it again. I can grow old knowing that I won't have to worry about weeds, drainage, or anything like that in these lots. Right now I'm healthy, I'm strong, I feel like doing it. I think if I dedicate myself, I can have these whole 2 lots by the end of the summer completely redone to where we never have weeds and we never have drainage problems. That's my ultimate goal. And to other people, these are the houses. Okay, you're probably wondering, well, where's the houses? These are it. This is my patio. It's kind of cluttered right now. I've got a kayak on it that I've got about 2 weeks of work into. Added a whole bunch of stainless hardware. My Adirondack chairs. There's my wind chimes. And boy, were they making noise yesterday. And this is my second house here. Right now I'm sharing duties with both houses. They both have solar. And basically, they're both net zero houses now. Because I've increased, if I zoom in, you'll see an air conditioning unit. That box on my patio is the latest and greatest. It's Star Wars, it's NASA technology, it's a mini split. I put 2 in that house, and I put an extra large in this house. I overbuilt or overbought for this house, but since I put in the mini splits into the house, I'm more or less net zero houses. The solar panels are keeping up with the demands of the house, because the mini splits sip electricity. They're much more quiet, they're much more convenient, and they're about half the electrical load of the traditional heat pumps that were installed originally by the builder, or any upgrade to those heat pump systems. Those old heat pump systems are dinosaurs. Everything is going to go to this someday. But anyway, hope you all enjoyed the video. Here's where I live. There's the new hotel. They built this in the last year. It's a new hotel on the lake. But these lots, I've been told, the realtor, when I bought, the realtor agreed with me, these are the best lots on the course. But see y'all later.